In the heart of the sprawling savannah, where the sun kisses the earth and life pulses in every blade of grass, a story of destiny began to unfold. Our tale starts in the mighty Pride Rock Kingdom, ruled by the wise and just king. But this isn't his story, nor is it the story of his famous son, Simba. This is the story of Kiro, a lion cub whose fate was intertwined with the very soul of the Pride Lands. A cub destined to face a darkness far greater than any had ever known. Kiro was born under a sky of shimmering stars, the second son of a noble lioness. He wasn't in the direct line for the throne, but his heart was as royal as any king's. He was a curious and adventurous cub, with a spirit as boundless as the savannah itself. He spent his days exploring hidden caves with his best friend, a clever meerkat named Timon, and a warm-hearted warthog, Pumbaa. Yes, that Timon and Pumbaa. They had found a new purpose in mentoring the younger generation of the Pride Lands, sharing their philosophy of Hakuna Matata, but also teaching the importance of responsibility. Kiro looked up to Simba, who had grown into a magnificent king, his roar echoing with wisdom and strength. He dreamed of one day being as brave and respected as him. One evening, as the sun painted the sky in fiery hues, Kiro sat with Rafiki, the old and wise mandrill. Rafiki, peering into the swirling patterns of a gourd, saw a flicker of a shadow, a prophecy long forgotten. He spoke in riddles, as he often did, of a shadow king who would rise from the forgotten lands. A king born of jealousy and vengeance, threatening to consume the Pride Lands in eternal twilight. He looked at Kiro, his ancient eyes seeing something more than just a playful cub. He saw a flicker of an immense, untapped power. Life continued peacefully, the prophecy a distant whisper. Kiro grew, his muscles strengthening, his roar gaining depth. He trained under Simba, learning the ways of a king, not to rule, but to protect. Simba saw the fire in Kiro's eyes and knew he had a special role to play. He taught him the circle of life, the delicate balance that connected every living thing, from the crawling ant to the leaping antelope. He taught him that true strength wasn't just in claws and teeth, but in courage, compassion, and wisdom. Meanwhile, far beyond the borders of the Pride Lands, in the desolate and shadowy elephant graveyard, something was stirring. A bitter lion named Zev, a distant cousin to Scar, had been nursing a grudge for years. He believed the throne was stolen from his bloodline. He was physically weaker than the lions of Pride Rock, but his mind was sharp and twisted with ambition. He had spent years studying forbidden magic, ancient whispers from the shadows, learning to manipulate the very darkness itself. He gathered a following of disgruntled hyenas and other outcasts, promising them power and a place in his new world order. He crowned himself the Shadow King, his roar a chilling echo through the boneyard. The first sign of trouble came subtly. The rivers began to run thin, the grass in the outer lands turned brown, and a strange, cold mist started to creep in at dusk. Fear began to ripple through the herds. Zev was using his dark magic to drain the life force from the land, channeling it to fuel his own growing power. His influence was like a poison, spreading slowly but surely. Simba, ever the vigilant king, sent Zazu to investigate, but the Hornbill returned with grim news of a shadowy army amassing in the graveyard, led by a lion who commanded the darkness. The prophecy was no longer a whisper. It was a deafening roar. The Pride Lands were on the brink of a new war. A council was held at Pride Rock. The bravest lions, led by Simba and Nala, prepared for battle. Kiro, now a strong young adult, stepped forward, his heart pounding. He wanted to fight, to prove his worth, to protect his home. But Rafiki stopped him. "Your path is different, young Kiro," the mandrill said, holding up his staff. "To fight Shatter with strength is to be lost in the dark. You must fight Shatter with light." Rafiki revealed the full extent of the prophecy. Kiro was the Sunstone Lion, the only one with the innate ability to counter the Shadow King's magic. An ancient power lay dormant within him, a light that could push back the encroaching darkness. But it was a power he didn't know how to control. To awaken this power, Kiro had to embark on a perilous journey to the Crystal Falls, a mythical place hidden deep within the treacherous jungle of whispers. According to legend, The falls were infused with the pure light of the ancestors, capable of unlocking a lion's true potential, accompanied by the ever-loyal Timon and Pumbaa, who refused to let their young friend go alone. Kiro set off. Their journey was fraught with danger. They navigated through winding canyons, where Zev's shadow creatures lurked, and crossed treacherous rivers that seemed to pull them into the gloom. Along the way, Kiro's resolve was tested. He doubted himself, the weight of the prophecy feeling like a mountain on his shoulders. But Timon's quick wit and Pumbaa's unwavering optimism kept his spirits from flagging. Back in the Pride Lands, the situation was desperate. Zev and his army of shadows and hyenas launched their assault. The battle for Pride Rock began. Simba led the charge with immense courage, his roars thundering across the savannah. The lionesses fought with fierce determination. But Zev was a new kind of enemy. He didn't just fight with tooth and claw. He fought with fear and illusion. He conjured phantom beasts from the shadows, twisted the landscape into nightmarish visions, and drained the strength of his opponents. The defenders of Pride Rock were strong, but they were being overwhelmed by an enemy they couldn't fully comprehend. At the same time, Kiro, Timon, and Pumbaa finally reached the Crystal Falls. It was a breathtaking sight. Water cascaded over shimmering crystals, scattering rainbows of light in every direction. The air hummed with a gentle, ancient energy. As Kiro stepped into the pool at the base of the falls, he felt a warmth spread through him. The light of the ancestors flowed into his being, awakening the power within. Images flooded his mind. The first kings, the ancient magic of the land, the deep connection of the circle of life. He felt the strength of every king who had come before him, the courage of his pride, and the love for his home. His fur began to glow with a soft, golden light. The Sunstone Lion was awake. He emerged from the folds, not just as Kiro, but as a guardian, his eyes glowing with a newfound power and wisdom. He could feel the struggle back at Pride Rock, the encroaching darkness, and the fading hope of his family. With a roar that wasn't just sound, but pure light, Erised bugged Timon and Pumbaa. Struggling to keep up, he moved with impossible speed, the very land seeming to aid his journey. He arrived at Pride Rock at the darkest moment. Simba was injured, the lionesses were exhausted, and Zev stood atop the promontory, laughing as his shadows consumed everything. "The Pride Lands are mine," he declared, his voice dripping with triumph. "A new era of darkness begins. Not while the sun still rises," a voice boomed. All heads turned. There stood Kiro, his body radiating a brilliant golden aura that pushed back the shadows. The despairing lions felt a surge of new hope. Zev stared in disbelief and rage. The Sunstone Lion. The prophecy was true, he snarled. The final confrontation began. It was a battle not of brute force, but of light against dark. Zev hurled bolts of pure shadow, but Kiro met them with blasts of concentrated sunlight. Zev created illusions of fire and despair, but Kiro's light revealed them as mere tricks. The two lions circled each other, a whirlwind of gold and black. Kiro didn't fight with anger or hatred. He fought with the calm, unwavering certainty of the rising sun. He remembered Simba's teachings, Rafiki's wisdom, and the balance of the circle of life. Darkness was not an enemy to be destroyed, but an imbalance to be corrected. With a final, mighty roar that shook the very foundations of Pride Rock, Kiro unleashed a massive wave of pure light. It wasn't a destructive force, but a purifying one. It washed over the battlefield, banishing the shadow creatures, clearing the dark mist, and healing the land. The light enveloped Zev, not burning him, but dissolving the dark magic that had corrupted him. Stripped of his power, Zev was just a bitter, defeated lion. The hyenas, seeing their leader vanquished, scattered and fled back to the graveyard. As the sun began to rise, bathing the savannah in its warm, familiar glow, Kiro's aura faded. He was just a young lion again, tired but triumphant. The Pride Lands were safe. Simba, his strength returning, approached Kiro and nuzzled him, a gesture of profound respect and gratitude. "You have saved us all," Simba said, his voice filled with pride. You have found your place in the circle of life. Kiro didn't become a king. He didn't need to. He had found his own destiny. He became the guardian of the light, a protector who walked alongside the king, ensuring the balance between light and shadow was never again so dangerously broken. He understood that true strength came from within, and that even the smallest cub could have the heart of the mightiest lion. And so, under the watchful eyes of King Simba and the vigilant gaze of Kiro, the Sunstone Guardian, the Pride Lands entered a new era of peace and prosperity, a testament to the courage of a young cub who dared to face the darkness and become the light. Thank you for watching this epic tale. If you enjoyed the story of Kiro, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another adventure from the Pride Lands. Let us know in the comments what you thought of Kiro's journey. Until next time.